Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Thomas of Woodstock, and today we get to hear from King Richard II in Act 4, Scene 1, which is a scene all about nefarious plots. We have the plot to kidnap Thomas of Woodstock and ship him off to France so that they can be done with him and King Richard doesn't have to worry about him anymore, but will also be held blameless for his sudden mysterious disappearance. We have the plot to frame the other uncles for treason so that Richard won't have to deal with them anymore. And we also have the flatterers manipulating the king into dividing the kingdom up into 4 parts and giving each of them one so that they can farm the land, but really they're just going to be collecting the taxes on those lands and paying a portion of that to King Richard. So this is a way that they sort of legally want to be able to skim things off the top, because they will tax the people that live on their lands at a much higher rate than the money that they owe to the crown. So they're all just looking to get rich quick in this whole big thing. So once the plot to get rid of all of the uncles is settled, Green is like, and also you're still gonna like sign these papers that divide up the kingdom for the 4 of us, right? Like that's still in the works. And King Richard says, "So, sir, the love of thee and these, my dearest Green, hath won King Richard to consent to that, for which all foreign kings will point at us. And of the meanest subject of our land, we shall be censured strongly when they tell how our great father toiled his royal person, spending his blood to purchase towns in France, and we, his son, to ease our wanton youth, become a landlord to this warlike realm, rent out our kingdom like a pelting farm, that erst was held as far as Babylon, the maiden conqueress to all the world." So this is King Richard pushing back just a smidge. He's like, yes, all respects to you and the flatterers, and it's because I love you guys so much that I'm going to do this thing that could make me a laughingstock. Like everybody else is going to look at England and be like, this is funny. And they're going to tell the story of how my father was this warlike king who won the lands but with his own blood, sweat, and tears. And I became a landlord and just split everything up and gave a little bit to you and a little bit to you and a little bit to you. And Green is like, well, since when do you care what other people think? Like, you're still the king. You are going to be the king. The king is allowed to do whatever the king wants to do. And Richard is like, yes, but, and Green's like, if you're gonna like withdraw from this deal that you've made with all of us, like I might have to go join your uncles and be a traitor too. And Richard's like, no, fine, I'll sign the deal. He's like, Tressilian, take a quick look at it. And a little bit more conversation. He turns back to Tressilian. He's like, this is all good and equitable and fair, right? You've reviewed the contract and it makes sense. And Tressilian is going to give us his impression of this written out deal in a monologue tomorrow. So I will see you then for that. Mwah.